Welcome to Rabbit and Red Reviews. I am Eric, and for review today, we're going to be looking at Talisker Dark Storm Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. As always here on the channel, I'm going to give you a nose taste finish review. I'll chat a bit about the value, give you my final thoughts and a score for this single malt, and leave you with a malt musing. First, let me tell you a little bit about Talisker and the Dark Storm. So, Talisker Distillery is located on the Isle of Skye, and depending on who you ask, as far as regions go, this is either considered an island single malt or a highland single malt. As of early here in 2020, Talisker is still the only operating distillery on the Isle of Skye. And so this Dark Storm is actually a variation of the Talisker Storm. A couple of years back, Talisker released a non-age statement, kind of entry level to their core range, called the Talisker Storm. It's comparable to the Talisker 10, which is their lowest age statement whiskey that's readily available. And this Dark Storm is a variation of this. And what it says here is a deep, dark, and rich Talisker matured in selected heavily charred casks to give extra spice and smoke. So essentially what you're looking at is a non-age statement Talisker that has been added, matured in some heavily charred casks. This is bottled at 45.8%, like pretty much all Talisker single malts are. And let's see what else they have to say here. So, bottled at premium strength, 45.8%. Talisker Storm faces you with all the wild, untamed spirit of a full-blown storm at sea. This is also a travel retail exclusive, so you pretty much only find this if you're flying internationally in airports. Let's take a peek here at the bottle. All right. This is a 1 liter bottle. So this is what the bottle's looking like. And it says here, matured in charred casks, a deep, dark, and rich maritime character, matured in selected heavily charred casks to give extra spice and smoke. Okay, so not much more on that. It does not say anything about whether or not this is natural color or whether or not it's been chill filtered. So I think the assumption is that they have added some coloring to this and it has also been chill filtered. So with that, let's pour this in the glass and see what we're working with. Okay. So for posterity's sake, you can take a look at the color here. It is a quite dark red, dark gold, or reddish gold hue. Okay, let's get into this on the nose. Okay, so right off the bat, you are getting what I would characterize as kind of the signature notes of Talisker single malt. It does have those maritime characters. It's got that signature kind of salty brininess, pepperiness that I usually associate with Talisker. These malts are peated, but Talisker is not heavily peated like you'd get off an Isla malt. So getting kind of there's definitely a sweetness. I want to say it's like cherry, maybe like grape cherry. Yeah, you are getting a little bit of a spiciness off the oak. It's hard to really tell. It's kind of muted. A little bit of citrus too. So that kind of citrus, salty brininess, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of oakiness, and kind of a grape, red grapes, cherry thing going on. Smells pretty good. All right, we'll give this a taste, Salancha. Okay, right away on the development, it's kind of a medium body, not very viscous, definitely not a light whiskey. Immediately, you're getting kind of a dark fruit, chocolatiness, but then quickly kicks over to kind of a spice. It's black pepper, chili pepper, cinnamon type thing. Little bit of vanilla in the background. I wouldn't say that this is incredibly spicy, kind of as they try to tell you it is on the bottle here, but it's definitely got some kick to it. And then yeah, just these kind of dark cherry oakiness through the development there. The finish, it's short to medium. It does leave a bit of a kind of a slightly tannic dryiness. There's a little bit of a vanilla and also a little bit of pepper. Not, doesn't hang on too long. There's almost a little mintiness too. Not incredibly complex, but solid. I really enjoyed this at this 45.8%, but I think we will put some water on this just to see if we can get anything else out of the Dark Storm here. Wow, so okay, with the addition of water, fruit notes kick up quite a bit on the nose, also citrus, lime, lemon, apple, still that grape, even a little bit of like raspberry too. There's a lot of different fruits. They're not incredibly distinct. They're kind of blending together, but you can pick them out if you nose this long enough. Yeah. That little bit of vanilla and cinnamon we got went way into the background here. Okay, give it a taste now with water. Much more measured on the arrival with water. So instead of kind of going in the stages that I described before, now this will be working a little more seamlessly. Not as spicy and punchy on the arrival, but sweetness, bit of fruit. Kind of then moves over into kind of a slightly like milk chocolate. There's a vanilla thing. Little bit of that pepper, but boy, it's really, the water is really dissipated that spicy, salty smokiness that you get out of Talisker. It's there, but it's in the background. So yeah, more muted on the, and measured with the addition of water. Finish is still pretty much in that short to medium range. A little bit of that cherry left, a little bit drying. Not much spice anymore with water. So water really tamed this down. It's definitely a spirity dram. I mean, this is not an age statement. I can't tell you how old this is, but it's definitely less than 10 years for sure. It does taste rather youthful. Give this one more try. Okay. Yeah, the finish, there's a slight saltiness still there. A little bit of that peaty smoke. If you're somebody who's actually been drinking single malts with a lot of smokiness for a while, this is going to taste very mild. But for someone who's just getting into single malts, this will probably be a good amount of spice to get into if you're getting into the peaty stuff. Okay, here's one more look at the bottle. This is a 1 liter bottle, as I said. Okay, so cost-wise, I actually do still have the receipt here, surprisingly. So I got this at the Dublin airport at the cost, it was 72 euro. So this is about, yeah, net 80, 75, 80 euro, you know, dollars, pounds, depending on what the exchange rate is when you buy it. You are getting a liter bottle, which is nice, but this is pretty pricey. I think this is probably not worth the money, especially given that you can readily get a Talisker 10 on your shelves pretty much anywhere at less of a price. So final thoughts here on the Talisker Dark Storm. I think the addition, you know, the aging in these heavily charred barrels does give this a little bit more of a syrupiness. I think it still is youthful, however. The regular Talisker Storm, I think, has a lot more zip and bite. This one, that kind of caramely syrupiness that you get, but it's much more of like a cherry fruit thing. Works all right on this one. But at that price, it's really tough to say that this is something worth it, considering that there's always a lot of different options when you're traveling abroad and you stop into the duty-free shop. And so I would actually say that the Talisker Dark Storm, not one I would say that you should spend your money on. Okay, my final score on this is going to be a 2.5 out of 5, which is a try before you buy. Maybe you know somebody who's picked up a bottle of this and would probably eagerly be willing to share you on a sample. But otherwise, tough one to recommend as something you should spend that much money on while you're traveling. Okay, so that is my review of the Talisker Dark Storm. And with that, I will kick you over to your malt musing. Thanks for swinging by the channel. Do hit subscribe if you are yet to. I'll catch you next time here in Rabbit and Red Reviews. Sláinte, y'all.